Alright, just want to do a quick video about your essay question. You will get two questions for your essay. One will be 4 marks, one will be 6 marks, total of 10 marks. For the express students, the first one is going to be your describe. So we'll look like this. For example, describe two problems faced by early colonial Singapore. Or they can also say describe one problem faced by early colonial Singapore. So depends on the question will determine how many paragraphs you need to write. Your format will be very simple. Just give me the main point and then give me some details. About two to three details should be sufficient. Alright, and that will form your paragraph. So your main point has to be clear. For example, one social problem was the presence of secret societies. So it's clearly written, right? The problem that Singapore faced secret societies. Okay, after that, you can refer back to your RAM again, your RAM notes. I gave you all the information about secret societies. Just give me about 2 to 3 details. If you want to be a bit more detailed, you can give me 4. For example, here you say, right? So what are the secret societies? Well, they came here because they can get protection, seek help from getting a job, and then lodging. Okay, but what's the downside to the secret societies? Again, it leads to a lot of gang fights, robberies, and riots, inclusive of the Hokkien Teochew riots caused by members. And then the police. Why is it a problem? Because the police couldn't do much to handle it due to the language barrier. Alright, that's enough already. Okay, just tell me who the secret societies are. What did they give to the you can write things. You can write the 5W1H type of things. So who are they? Who are they? What did they do? What are the problems? Right? And basically that's about it, right? Who are they? What did they give to the people? And what did they cause in the streets? All these can be found inside your RAM notes. I gave you one whole list of the details about secret societies. So don't need any explanation. I just need answer the question because the question is saying what's the social problem? Well, the social problem was secret societies. Then 3 details about secret societies. Then let's say you move on to another one, another problem. So another problem faced. Then the main point here is prostitution, right? According to the RAM notes, I gave you the mind map as well. I gave you all the main points, right? So prostitution is another one. So then you write down. So what about prostitution? All right. Why did they come? They come here because to escape the harsh living condition, right? Harsh working condition, and also because the brothels they all found it to be a profitable business where the young female migrants from China, many of them tricked into coming to Singapore to become a prostitute on the promise of well-paid jobs, end up becoming sold to brothels and forced to earn money for them. All right, all the details, 2 to 3 details should be sufficient. Okay, maybe 3 to 4 details should be sufficient after you give me the main point. All right, all these details again can be found in your RAM note. So that's for your 4-mark question. For your 6-mark question is a bit more challenging because you have to explain. So I need 2 paragraphs again. Each paragraph should have a PEEL, point, which stands for your point, and then your elaboration, and then your explanation, and then your link. What is the explanation that I need? You must link to this thing. See the question, highlight the outcome. They want you to talk about facilities. So the 2 points they want you to talk about here in this question is of course facilities and healthcare. Then the outcome to explain to make your explanation is how does this lead to growth of Singapore as a trading center. So you have to think about words related to growth. How would a country's growth look like? Right? It'll be very successful, right? It'll be very prosperous, probably. It'll be very efficient, right? People will be very happy. So these are the things associated with growth that you have to list down in your explanation. It's not enough just to tell me about the facilities. It's not enough just to tell me about the healthcare. You must go into further detail and tell me how does all these things lead to growth of Singapore as a trading center. Okay, I'll skip the facilities one and move on to the healthcare. So for healthcare, you see, British helped develop Singapore. Okay, never mind. Let's do the facilities one. So for facilities, right, you see, development of Singapore's facilities is your main point. Okay, then you answer the question. Led to the bustling port by ensuring greater convenience in trade and commerce. Then examples of the facilities, 3 to 4 examples of the facilities. Okay, what are facilities? Well, you have the new harbor being built in between these two countries. You have the steamships. You have the what is the function of all these harbors? Shelter strong winds, enhance safety, new docks and storehouses, blah 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 blah. And then you have the modern machinery. So all these are examples about the facilities being built in Singapore, but it has not linked yet to what I want, which is growth. So you must tell me, so what? Ask yourself after you list down all the examples. So what? How does this actually lead to growth? Well, this leads to growth because linked to growth is the idea of trade, right? More ships coming to trade, improve the speed of trade and commerce and port facilities, resulting in more trade coming. More trade equals to prosperity, right? So the link is very clear here. You must ask yourself after you've written all these details, so what? So what if you have all these ports and everything? How does this lead to growth and success of Singapore? Well, because with all these ports, you have more ships coming in. You have more ships coming in. You have faster trade and commerce. Thus, there'll be greater volume of trade. Thus, there will be a prosperity inside the country. And thus, this is why improving the facilities has indeed led to growth of Singapore as a trading port. Now let's look at healthcare because this is the second one that they ask you. So, for example, you will say, answer the question. Healthcare has led to Singapore's growth as a trading port as it ensured better living conditions. So, here's the thing. You must give me a reason. Just summarize a short little reason first. Okay? There's a factor here. The factor here is healthcare, right? But after healthcare, you have to give me the reason. Then you have to tell me growth. Okay? So healthcare led to growth because it ensured better living conditions, access to basic medical healthcare. So how did the British go about changing the healthcare, which is what is seen in your RAM notes, right? Public Health Division, okay? Then write about Public Health Division. What is it? What did they do? Malaria Committee, what is it? What did they do? Okay, blah blah blah. Housing conditions, what was it like and what did the British actually do to improve all these things? So, that is for healthcare, right? So, after you give me all these details already, you have to tell me, so what? So what if I see all these details? How does this actually lead to growth, right? Because the key idea is the growth, right? Growth of Singapore as a trading center. Well, because of the improvements of healthcare, you can attract traders. Okay, this is the key in your explanation. You must put in the explanation. Okay, this is not a described question. You must explain. With healthcare conditions improving, you will have traders attracted to come from all over the region. Then, so what if you have traders coming? Why are they coming? Why are they coming? Because they are safe. They feel safe from infectious diseases and decreasing death tolls. So what if they feel safe? This is not the end. So once they feel safe really, then you would say, all right, so then with more traders coming, there's more trade, right? More trade equals to more profits. Okay, government's money is called tax revenue, equals to more tax revenue, and thus when the country has more trade, more profits, more tax revenue, that's when it will become prosperous, and therefore because it's prosperous, that is how improvements in healthcare can lead to growth of Singapore as a trading port. So once again, your final outcome is growth. So in your explanation, you have to link everything that you know to the growth of Singapore as a trading port, right? Improvements in healthcare. What improvements again? All right, is the public health department. It is the Malaria Committee. It is also the quarantine laws being made by the British. So all these things help Singapore to grow as a trading port. Because explain now, because it will attract investors. It will attract investors. And why will it attract investments? Because the investors actually feel safe. Safe from infectious diseases. And so because they are safe from infectious diseases, they will come to Singapore and trade. And more trade equals more profits equals more tax revenue, more tax revenue equals prosperity and growth. And that is why improvements in healthcare can help link to growth of Singapore as a trading port. So explanation is key for your second question, all right? It's not enough just to give me the details. You have to link these details to the outcome that the question is asking you to link to. Okay? All the best.